Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are about to start a brand new duplex. So I want to just get everybody on the same sheet of music, start everything from the very beginning. So this is a duplex that we've already done, and I'm going to walk through some of the stuff on the plans that I think is important for you guys to know. Now, this is going to be important for anybody who's the first time. Maybe you've done it few times. Maybe you're already an expert on it, but these are some of the things that I, as a builder, doing this stuff kind of focus on. And I know the word builder gets thrown around quite a bit. It comes with the connotation of like, you have a lot of experience and stuff like that. But really, at the end of the day, you are a general contractor. In the state of Texas, there's no licensing requirement. And I will explain to you why that's not a big deal in terms of like you not knowing what you're doing. You have a master licensed electrician, you have a master licensed air conditioning guy, you have a master licensed plumber that are supposed to be doing their portion of the work. And then you have backstop, which is going to be an inspection. Same thing goes for the slab, okay? You have an engineer who's going to be putting the slab together. They do inspections on the slab. They do inspections after the pouring, and there's just a lot of inspections whenever you're doing this stuff inside the city limits. I used to be a little bit scared, and not scared, but I used to be gun shy of doing new construction stuff inside the city limits because of all the permitting requirements. But at the end of the day, it really is a checks and balance type of situation that's going to just help you move along the process without you, accidentally doing something that you shouldn't be doing, or maybe building something that's going to be a safety issue later. Okay, so this is what the duplex is going to look like. Very basic, nothing too crazy. If you take a look at it, once we get a little bit further along, you'll see that it's just a box, and it's going to be a shotgun style, which means that on one side you have one unit. So basically the split's going to be somewhere around right here. And then this whole side here is going to be side A, and then this side over here is going to be side B. So it's pretty basic. We separate the driveways for a purpose because we've done duplexes in the past where that hasn't been the case. And so what happens is that the driveway, when people are coming in with their vehicle and they open the doors, that's an ugly vehicle. And so what happens if you have the driveways put together, people are going to be on top of each other. That's one of the reasons why I like doing it that way. But you can do your driveway together if you want to. It's not a big deal. Just, this thing here is going to have to extend out a little bit. So for example, the concrete's going to have to go this way. At any rate, let's just go through this duplex here that we've already done before, and I'm going to show you some important things. I'm going to zoom in, stop it, and go from there. Okay, so real quickly, all we're going to do here is just take a look at the front. We're going to start from the very front. I'm going to go on one side only because I think it's important to just kind of, it's a mirror essentially, okay? And it's not anything that we need to dive too much into except for just pointing out a few things that are going to be, I think, important for you as the general contractor for this new construction project. So, very first thing here at the very bottom, you're going to have this 1223 square feet. That right there is going to be something that the guys that are working on the inside, so the guys that are going to be doing the flooring, the guys that are going to be doing the interior paint, the guys that are going to be doing, the air conditioned units, those types of guys, those are going to use the 1223 square footage as their baseline. The other number is going to be this other number here, which is going to be the slab area inclusive of the entire area. So 1223 plus 33 is going to be, what's that, 1256. So for one side, the entire thing is going to be 2493, right? So when we combine these, the number here is not going to be 1204, which is this side here, plus the 1223. Okay, which is going to be, what is that? 7, 2, 4, so 2427 square feet, right? That's going to be the entire cooled and air conditioned area and heated area, 2427. However, the guys that are going to be pouring, because they have to pour the porches and they have to pour, whatever other stuff you got going on, they're going to take the bigger number. The guys that are going to be doing the framing, because they're also going to be putting frame out here that comes up, and then the roof pitch comes all the way out here. If you're looking at this, from the side, they're going to charge you for the larger square footage. Okay, so that's not uncommon. See here, it doesn't show in the plans. As a matter of fact, it's a good thing that I noticed that here, but they're not really going to say anything about it. So you see here, there's supposed to be a post right there to help support that. So because the framers are going to be doing that portion of the work, they're going to charge you for the 2493 square footage. Okay, so moving along. Inside of here, you're going to have a few other things that you need to take a look at that I think are important for you guys to notice. Give me a second. So if you notice right here, it says 3060. And that means a 3 foot 0 inch, 6 foot 0 inch single hung window. These are going to be separated by a 2x4. If you try to buy these windows together as one big massive window, it's going to be very, very expensive. If you buy them individually, they're a lot more economical. So that's why we're going to go with that. Here you'll see that we have 9 foot ceilings throughout the house, which is, it's going to make it feel and look a little bit bigger. We have a 1223 square foot side on this left hand side of the structure. But the 9 foot ceilings really make it look a lot more presentable, makes it just feel not so tight. As soon as you come in through the door, again, you have some other numbers that I think are important for you guys to know. It says 3068. That's a standard size window for an entryway, which is 3 feet, 36 inches, 6'8" height. 6'8" is the standard height for all doors. And then some of these dimensions that are on here are going to be more for the framers, because the framers want to know what's the distance from the wall to where the door begins, so on and so forth. They're going to need these dimensions as well because they have to leave an opening for those doors. So for example, here you have 2068. This is a 2 foot wide pantry door right here. It's going to be a standard 6'8". So in the direction that they open is important for you to know that, and the electrician to know that, because if there's going to be a light, and I don't think, well, okay, for example, here on the pantry, let's move over to the pantry. I think it's important there. Here in the pantry, the door opens out this way, right? And so what happens is you don't want the light switch to be on this wall. You want the light switch to be over here. Because once you're opening it, you have one hand opening the door and then one hand opening or turning on the light, right? That makes perfect sense. We have that as part of the design, but at the same time, these are very simple things that, you guys need to know if you're starting out. These dimensions here are just going to be basic rough. No, they're not rough. These are exact locations of where these pieces are going to be going, or these corners are going to be. And the framers are going to be really involved in that because they need to know these dimensions so that the structure goes up correctly. Okay, so as you can tell here, we have, some cabinets. We have the kitchen here. Very simple. We have an island. We're going to have a little light fixture above the island. And, one of the things that I think is also important for you guys to notice is that right next to the sink is always a dishwasher. So we never want to put the dishwasher somewhere else. We want it to be right next to the sink. And so because we're centering the sink on the window, it's going to have to go to the left because of the standard dimension for the dishwasher is going to be 27.5 inches or 28 inches. So you see that B21, that's a base 21 cabinet. It's not going to be wide enough for the dishwasher to fit in there. So that's what we're doing on the left-hand side. And then, of course, we got the range over here and above the above the range microwave with the refrigerator here on the right-hand side. So very simple layout. It makes it look open. And then we come over here. This is going to be the ladders that are going to be going up to the attic. We are putting those in the houses because remember, we're doing these houses without a garage. These are 3 bedrooms, 2 bath houses without a garage. And because there's no garage, these people are going to need some storage spaces for some of their personal stuff, right? You got closets, you got bedrooms, but at the same time, you're always collecting stuff, and I think it's important for them to have that. And I think that the wooden ladders, I think, give it that additional storage capacity for the upstairs or for the attic space. So we have some 40-gallon water heaters that are going to be going in each attic as well. You're coming in, as soon as you go in here, you're going to have the laundry. Now, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later again, but I think it's important because this is something that did not make a whole lot of sense to me when I first started. And this is this wall here. You see how this little thing, this little wall piece is not as thick as this one. This one is thicker. You see how that's thicker? Okay, the reason for that is because the wall where the water and the vents go for the laundry need to be a 2x6 wall. So you have the 2x4 regular, studs, right? Those are not wide enough. When you put them face down, when you lay them down on the ground like this, they're not wide enough for the tubes to fit for the laundry. So this wall always has to be a 2x6 wall. It's a kind of a standard thing. People forget to put them on plans, but whenever we're out there, we ask the guys to just change that up because it just needs to reflect that. So that's something else. And we'll talk about that more later. But these plans show it correctly the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so now we are moving into where the hall area is, and we have the very first bedroom. Each bedroom is required to have an egress area, which is going to be a window. The 3050 single hung windows are the standard windows they have at Home Depot. Sometimes you can find them on Facebook Marketplace, you can find them on eBay, you can find them locally where they just, have them for sale as long as they're all the same. White vinyl, or if you want to go black, whatever you want to go with the color, it doesn't matter as long as they're all the same. They have the windows that have the little, grating things on the inside of them. Have windows that are plain, right? Just plain old windows, and then you have the ones that have the little white strips on the inside that look like this, just kind of a decorative thing. It's up to you. As long as they're all the same, I think it's just keep them consistent. But the 3050 or the 3 foot by 5 foot single hung windows are the standard windows they have at Home Depot. They have them in stock. So if you're in a crunch, if you're in a bind, you can always find these windows. That's why I purposely have gone out of the way to make sure that those windows are the same for almost every single house, okay? It just makes it easier for logistics. So moving on here, we are going into the hall bathroom. Now, the hall bathroom that we have access to here right off of the initial entry area here is very basic. We want this to be all the same. You see how there's the fixture for the waters here, the fixtures for the water here, the fixture for the waters there. That makes it easy because when you're coming in through the attic, they can feed the toilet is just cold water. This is hot and cold, and this one's hot and cold, but they're all on the same wall instead of like having it opposed. Now you'll see a little bit different in the bathroom, in the master bathroom, but I'm going to show you why. And so here we just have a single sink, and then we have double, cabinets on either side and light fixtures and stuff like that. Pretty nice area. I want to do 2 tubs because you just don't know who's going to be, I have a bunch of small kids, and tubs are easy for whenever you're trying to give kids a bath, right? Some people prefer, stand-up showers, but it's up to you guys. For me, it's a little bit easier to do the showers and just do the tile. Then we have the other bedroom here. Again, all the bedrooms are going to be 9-foot ceilings. The entire area, we want it to be all 9-foot ceilings just to make it a little nicer area. And then, of course, we have the other window there, also a 3050 single hung window. Now, next here is what we have is the master bedroom, and this little area here is just kind of open. Now, there's a couple of places here. You can hang a TV either on this wall, or if you want your bed to be here like this, you can hang a TV on this wall. It's up to you, right? So we just leave it up to however the owners want to do it, or the people renting or living there want to do it. The point that I'm trying to make here is that on this one we have 2 windows just to give a little bit more nicer area, more light coming into the house. Also 9-foot ceilings. On this one we do the fans, the ceiling fans. I think a lot of people like to have those ceiling fans in the master bedroom. And then you come into the bathroom. Now the bathroom, remember I was talking about how, plumbing repairs and stuff like that become an issue. So what we do in the master bathroom, because see here's the thing. If we ever have a situation where we have to repair the tub, and for some reason it's always a tub, right? I don't know why, but the toilet you can repair, you can remove the toilet, move it out of the way, and then repair the stuff back here. Under the sink, you can just essentially go underneath the sink. You can open up the little doors and work underneath there. But in the tub, you can't work with the plumbing unless you rip out something. Now, if this fixture was on this side here on the outside wall, basically you would have to rip through the siding, rip through the insulation, rip through all that stuff to work on it so that you wouldn't mess up the inside. Or you mess up the inside and work on the tub and then do it that way. So instead what we've done is we've made it so that it's on the interior wall so that eventually if there ever is an issue, they can work on it from the sheetrock side, which is a much easier repair than having to go through the outside. Okay? That's a big foot stomper that I need you guys to always remember, because the tubs always become an issue, maybe not now or in the next 2 or 3 years, but 5, 10, 15 years from now, someone's going to be grateful that the tub repair was on the outside. Okay, on this area out here, this little green rectangular looking thing is going to be the air conditioning unit or the condenser unit. We want to put that out there because, we also need this area to be marked by concrete. The guys who are going to be pouring the concrete, they need to know where that's going to be going so that they can essentially do that when it comes time to do that. The other thing I'm going to point out here on the plans is going to be that, beside it being a mirror, this is going to be a firewall right down the middle. The firewall, I can go into much more detail about it, but the thing with the firewall, guys, is that, there's so many ways of doing it. There's a lot of different ways of putting together firewalls, and there's a whole entire book on being able to do it. And so we're just looking for efficiency. We're looking for good quality. We're not looking to do anything crazy. We just want something that is going to basically fit the construct of what we're trying to accomplish, was going to be an efficient build and still up to code. So that's really all we're trying to do there. Okay, now that we've talked all about the inside of the property, we are going to move on to the actual firewall itself. I'm going to stop it right here, guys, because I think this is quite a bit. This is quite a bit of information for now, and the next one we'll be talking about the firewall. And man, it just goes into a little bit more detail about what it all entails, and we will talk about that soon. All right, talk to you soon.